thinking about making a move to the Middle Tennessee area and you're trying to decide or figure out what to know between Franklin and Nolensville? If so, then stay tuned, because in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through the similarities and the differences between Franklin and Nolensville, Tennessee. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Martin and I am a local Nashville real estate agent and founder of the Caitlin Martin team, powered by Weichert Realtors, the Andrews Group. I specialize in working with savvy sellers who want to sell right and sell smart, as well as working with out-of-staters looking to relocate to the Middle Tennessee area. Now, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much. Please feel free to click subscribe down below so that you are notified anytime I release new video content, which as of right now is every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time. Also, please feel free to go and head on over to Instagram and follow me at Caitlin Martin Realtor, and you can follow the team Instagram at the Caitlin Martin team. On both platforms, we are talking all things in Nashville real estate, lifestyle, what you need to know, and of course, making any exciting announcements there as well. So in today's video, we are talking about the similarities and the differences between Franklin and Nolensville. Now, I have plenty of content out there on both, but I figured, a lot of times people are asking me, if they're looking in Franklin, they're like, well, what about Nolensville, or vice versa? So I figured this was a great way to just put them together in one video and walk you through each of them. So first things first, let's talk about location. So both Franklin and Nolensville are located inside of Williamson County. Williamson County is going to be the county just south to Davidson County, which Davidson County is the home to downtown Nashville and the surrounding neighborhoods. So if you're taking a look at a map, you can see it right here. This is the outline of Williamson County. Both Franklin and Nolensville fall into that. The only caveat to that would be that while most of Nolensville falls inside of Williamson County, there is a bit of a sliver of Nolensville that actually falls into Davidson County. So that is something to be aware of, because there are a few specific instances in Nolensville where a neighborhood actually splits the Williamson County, Davidson County line. And so if you live in that neighborhood and you're on the Davidson County side, your kids have to go to the Davidson County schools that it's zoned for. And if you're on the Williamson County side, you absolutely have to go to the Williamson County schools that you're zoned for. So just because you live in the same neighborhood, if there are two different counties within the neighborhood, you do go to the one that you're zoned for. So just wanted to make that little caveat, but overwhelmingly, the biggest part of Nolensville does still sit inside of Williamson County. So that's the thing. Both Franklin and Nolensville, you're inside of Williamson County, which, why are we talking about Williamson County so much? Well, it's because of certain characteristics that come along with Williamson County. That is why people are looking to move there. So if you've not seen any of my other content before, just a couple of quick highlights on Williamson County, why people are moving there. So, you do have low property taxes, which you do across the Middle Tennessee area, across the state. But again, Williamson County has a lower tax rate than Davidson County. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Also, the school scores. That is going to be one of the biggest factors. The public school scores are going to generally be higher than, say, other areas in the Middle Tennessee area. That's not exclusive. And of course, you can always go to greatschools.org to check out the school ratings yourself. But if we are looking at it, Nolensville and Franklin are very comparable in terms of the fact that they're in Williamson County and they are both zoned for those higher rated school scores. So that is one of the main draws to the area. But what are some of the differences? So I've talked a lot in other videos about downtown Franklin. Downtown Franklin, if you are unaware, it is this really cute, quaint downtown in the center of Franklin, Tennessee. It's got a lot of that historic Civil War time architecture to it. And downtown Franklin is known for its festivals year round. But the charming appeal of the downtown area is what draws people in. So downtown Franklin does have a downtown. Nolensville has a downtown too. but they are two different styles. So downtown Nolensville is gonna be far more of your like true rural farm feel. In fact, one of the buildings that's in what's considered the downtown strip is an Amish feed and seed. So if that gives you any idea. So you do have these two very distinctly different downtown feels. That's one of the bigger differences. Another difference is in Franklin. You're going to find that Franklin is far more populated than Nolensville. So Franklin has it's between 80 and 90,000 residents that live in the Franklin area, whereas Williamson County is sitting around that 17,000 mark. So a big difference. And that big difference then translates into just the way that each of these areas are developed. So in Franklin, you're gonna find Franklin is going to be far more developed than Nolensville. Now, Nolensville, even though we've talked about the downtown and feeling more rural, Nolensville is by no means some little podunk town. That's not Nolensville at all. You just, in Franklin, you're far more developed in terms of the number of neighborhoods, the number of houses. You also have your large Cool Springs Mall there. The Cool Springs area in general is going to house pretty much anything and everything that you could possibly need in terms of grocery stores, pharmacies, banks, home improvement stores, kids activities, fast food restaurants, sit down restaurants, local restaurants, chain restaurants, all of the things. You're gonna find that in Cool Springs. Then in Nolensville though, Nolensville is one that has exploded in popularity in recent years. So yes, there are new neighborhoods. About 70% of the housing, which is primarily just single family housing, is considered new construction because they've been built in recent years. So Nolensville had kind of been like this best kept secret of Williamson County until about 7-8 years ago. And then people started realizing that they could get the benefits of Williamson County, but without the higher price tag that comes with the Franklin area. So that's another difference between the two. So speaking of housing, of course, we have to talk about the average and median. We'll talk about both the average and the median home sale price because, as I just mentioned, a lot of people started going to Nolensville because they could get more bang for their buck in terms of house in Nolensville versus Franklin. So let's actually take a look at those statistics. So this is actually coming from our MLS data, and this is going to be current as of March of 2023. So if we are looking back at that data from March, in terms of the average home sale price in Franklin, the average home sale price for a single family home in Franklin as of March 2023 was $1,082,899. Now we compare that to what the average home sale price in Nolensville was for a single family home during that same time period. And in Nolensville, it was $858,572. So as you can see, you do have a drastic difference in terms of the average home sale price. But let's also just kind of zero in on those numbers a little bit more. And now let's take a look at what the median home sale price in both was for a single family home. So as of March 2023, the median home sale price in Franklin for a single family home was $900,000. And in Nolensville, it was $800,000. So not as big of a difference, but still that even $100,000 makes a difference. So just know in Franklin, you're going to tend to be at a higher price point versus Nolensville. So even though Nolensville has grown drastically in recent years, you can still get housing in Nolensville. That entry price point is going to be around the mid fives. Whereas with Franklin, you can absolutely find opportunities that are going to be in the $650 range, but more primarily you're looking at least 7 and above, if not 8 and above. So you do have a difference in terms of pricing for similar homes just in these two different areas. Now, in terms of things to do, you may have already picked up on this, but in the Franklin area, of course, because it's more developed, there's going to be more to do. In fact, Franklin had a historical significance when it came to the Civil War. And so there are places like the Carter House and the Carton Plantation, which were historical landmarks and played roles in the Civil War. So that is something that people can go and take tours of. So there are those kinds of things to do in Franklin outside of your everyday activities. And you also, have a lot to do in terms of there's plenty of golf courses in the Franklin area. You have an opportunity in Nolensville, but there's going to be more in Franklin. So you have things like that. Both areas are beautiful. They offer a lot of scenic drives and hiking trails. Hiking trails are really something that you can find all over the Middle Tennessee area. So you have opportunity for that in both places. Another thing to mention in terms of things to do, both Franklin and Nolensville actually have really great farmers markets, and those are very popular while they're happening each year. So there is an opportunity in both. Again, of course, the Franklin one is bigger, but again, both of them are very important to their communities, and they both get great turnouts while they are running throughout the year. Now, if you're trying to get a visual, if you haven't really gotten a chance to come here and explore in Middle Tennessee, one of the things that I personally think is one of our biggest attributes here is the beauty of the landscape around us. I've talked a lot about in previous videos about the beautiful rolling hills, and so you absolutely can see that. And you actually have beautiful farmland in both Franklin and in Nolensville. However, because Nolensville is not nearly as developed, I feel like Nolensville, you kind of sit down just a bit. So as you look around, it's almost like you're just surrounded amongst the rolling hills. Whereas in Franklin, certain times you can see them, other times not as much. But to me, I feel like one of the biggest selling features about Nolensville is just the beauty that surrounds it, because you absolutely have opportunity in the various neighborhoods to get homes where you can see those rolling hills out the window, and not just necessarily, the top story windows. You have that opportunity even from the main floor. So you do have this beauty that surrounds it. Franklin is going to offer more opportunity, more things to do, whereas Nolensville, you are going to get more of this rural, laid back feel. It is a tight-knit community. I mean, both are in general, but you're going to have more of the laid back country feel for the most part in the Nolensville area compared to the Franklin area. Another thing, if we're talking about both, Franklin, generally speaking, you're never going to be too far from Interstate 65. There of course are places that it's going to take you just a little bit longer, but Interstate 65 is going to be your main interstate to access Franklin. Whereas Nolensville is going to sit in between Interstate 65 and Interstate 24. So it's going to take a little bit longer to get to an interstate, but you have the benefit of being able to jump on 24, maybe get down to Murfreesboro or head towards Chattanooga, or jump on 65 and get up into Nashville if you want to do that too. Both areas, both Franklin and Nolensville, they sit around 30 minutes each from the heart of downtown Nashville. So one is not really better than the other when it comes to distance from Nashville. Now, Nolensville can be around 30 minutes to get to the Nashville airport, whereas Franklin, if you are on the west side of Franklin, it can take you around 45 minutes or more to get to the Nashville airport. So that's something else to keep in mind. But really and truly, both areas are beautiful. They're both served by those higher rated school scores. So I know that's a big draw for people. Also, both are dealing with similar statistics when it comes to lower crime rates. So overall, you can't go wrong with either. It comes down to truly your own personal opinion in terms of where do you want to be? What fits your lifestyle best? What fits your family best? If you've not gotten a chance to explore the area, I would encourage you that when you do make a trip out here, if you are looking for guidance in terms of where to go and what neighborhoods to look for, that is absolutely something that we are able to help with to make it the most efficient for you as possible and truly make the most of your trip. But if you're coming to visit, I would encourage you, if you're thinking about Franklin, to consider Nolensville, and if you're thinking about Nolensville, to consider Franklin, because both are great. And really, you know, you may just personally feel drawn to one over the other. So I would encourage you to take a look at both. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any more questions in regards to Franklin versus Nolensville or making a move to the Middle Tennessee area, I would absolutely love to start that conversation with you if you are ready. And if you are, there is a link down below that you can click and go ahead and book a call with me, get on my calendar so that we can talk, see if we are a fit to work together. If you're not ready for that just yet, that is okay too. I actually have a free Nashville relocation guide down below. It is chock full of information. It has maps to help give you more of a visual in terms of where neighborhoods are, what the Middle Tennessee area is comprised of. It has great restaurant and school information and economic information. I mean, that thing is chock full. So if you are wanting that information, there is a link down below to download it and take a look at that. But again, if you ever need any help moving to the Middle Tennessee area, my name is Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next time.